good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are this time of day. Have a good one. Well, hello, I am Sara Sach, and it's time for Coffee and Crochet with Sara. Now, I wasn't sure if we were going to do a live video this week because I wasn't sure what we were going to be doing with my family and what days my husband would have off this week. Obviously, he doesn't have today off, but that's okay because he'll have tomorrow off because tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. It'll be 39 years I've been married to the same man. 39 years. It's been a wonderful ride. It really has. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our average. So, anyway, the first thing I want to do, of course, is to draw your attention to this beautiful sign behind me, that 2021 sign that I made. And I'm going to talk more about that when we talk about our coasters, but it's done using a graph, and it's a C2C sign. And I wanted to go ahead and say something because I know I'm going to get questions about it. The other thing I was wanted to tell you, it was kind of funny. I like to wear my hair up like this. I kind of whip it up and put a clip in it, and it kind of sticks up. As it's gotten longer, I understand why Carol Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie always put her hair up. You just can't get things done if your hair's long. So anyway, I'm walking out to the mailbox with my granddaughter, and the sun was shining across, and you could see my head in the shadow. And she started laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? And she's like, your hair, it looks like a pineapple. So I said, well, I think everyone should be like a pineapple. We need to be sweet, we need to be golden, and we need to wear a crown. She looked at me, she's like, yeah, I like that. Of course, she thinks everyone should wear a crown because she thinks she's a princess. Alrighty, on that note, let's grab whatever we're drinking and clink in. I thought this coffee cup was appropriate because it says I need coffee AM, PM, day, month, year, life. I don't know if you can see that, noon. So, calinkety, clink, clink, clink. But also, I want to wish everyone a happy and blessed new year. And I know that 2020 has been an odd year. We were making some Christmas ornaments out of these little wood cutouts that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby last year, and we were making them this year. I like to get the craft things that go on sale so we can use them from year to year. And so on the back, my granddaughter took a marker and she wrote, I hate 2020. And she drew a toilet and some toilet paper. I said, why? Why do you hate 2020? And she just sort of laughed, and she mentioned some things because, she's not been able to see her friends from school and things like that. But they have done play dates. But I sort of don't feel that way. And if you remember last year, when I did my last video of 2019, I said that my word of the year was going to be joy. I had no idea what 2020 was going to be like. But because I chose the word joy, I believe that joy is a choice. And we can still be joyful in the hard times. No, we're not happy when we lost a friend or family member got sick, but we still can have that inner joy. And it's kind of a choice. And so I really thought long and hard about what I wanted my word to be this year. And that's something that I've always done. I don't do New Year's resolutions because I've never lost that extra 10 pounds and I've never stopped doing things that I love to do. And so I'm really not into New Year's resolutions. But I do like to choose a word that I can sort of choose to live by. And so last year when I chose joy, it helped me get through some rough times, remembering that I can still laugh at times and have joy at times. And joy is a choice that we can choose to have. And so I thought long and hard about what I wanted my word to be this year. And I decided on the word peace. And I looked it up in the dictionary. And what it said is a state of tranquility and quiet. And I thought, peace is also a choice. And I use the word inner joy and inner peace. And that's because our surroundings can be difficult. Things going on in our life can be difficult, confusing. I use the word noise. There's a lot of noise out there. We don't know what to read. We don't know what to do. What we can and can't do changes daily. And so what I have chosen for my word this year is peace. Because, I often say, watch the news, know what's going on out there, but don't watch it all day long because it will disrupt your joy and your peace. Don't get so wrapped up in this stuff of all the noise. Yes, be informed, but choose to have that inner peace. And so that's going to be my word for the year. And like I said, it wasn't always easy to have joy last year. There were moments that I really didn't have joy, and I had to work on that. And so I thought that peace was a good word for this year. We cannot dictate the things that happen in our life. A death of a loved one or friend, a loved one or a friend being sick, a loss of a child or job or circumstances around us. We can't control those things, but we can control us. And we can still have peace. And so that's why I wanted to let you all know that. If you hear me using the word peace, that's why. I've chosen the word peace to be my word for the year. All right, now I want to talk about what I have planned for 2021. And I tried really hard in 2020 to really bring you all a lot of patterns that you could do that didn't take a lot of yarn, that maybe you could work through some of your scraps. We also, last year, we did our washcloth of the month, which I really had a good time doing. That was a lot of fun. We learned a lot of techniques and stitches, and I like to do something that we can use. If we learned to do, say, we learned how to do the kitties in a row stitch, and we learned how to do it with a washcloth. We can use that washcloth, but we can also take that technique that we learned and make a blanket or a bag or a shawl or something else. And that's kind of what I want to do with our crochet along for 2021. I'm going to do it just a little bit different. I'm not going to stick with just a washcloth of the month. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to do what I'm going to call stitch of the month. And so what we're going to do is we're going to learn a new stitch, and then each one will have a project to go with it so that we can use that stitch in a project. It might be a hot pad, a washcloth, a bag, a hat, a scarf, a cowl or something, or it might just be a coaster or something like that. But we're going to learn some new stitches, and I have a list of stitches that have come in when I've asked you what stitch would you like to learn. And so I have a list of ones that we're going to do. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I love to learn new stitches, and I also love to teach them once I've learned them. All right. And so that's what our 2021 crochet along, year-long crochet along is going to be. It's going to be a stitch of the month. Now, we're still going to try our very best to do our live videos every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Now, I do the live video on Facebook. You all know that because those of you who are clinking in. And then after we do the live video on Facebook, I tweak it up a little and I shoot it over to YouTube because I want all my friends on Facebook and all my friends on YouTube to be a part of our live videos. And even though it's not live when it goes to YouTube, I get lots of wonderful comments and live comments as well. And I really enjoy that. I may not get a chance to read all your comments as we go. I do try to. I move it along, try to see them all as they come in. But to be honest with you, a lot of times I'll wait and I'll read through them later, like this evening when I'm sitting there. My husband might be watching Star Trek. And I'll read through the comments and see what everybody's saying because that means a lot to me. And I read through them on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. Now, one thing that I really enjoyed with our live videos is what I call the crochet togethers. And that's just where we do a small project live and we crochet it together. And I've had lots of wonderful feedback about that. And I really want to continue doing that in 2021 because it's fun. All right, let me grab a drink coffee real quick. The other things I like to do in our live videos is to talk about new yarns that I have found and new patterns, of course, new videos of the week, and just lots of yarny fun. I also get lots of comments about needing, wanting to understand about crochet hooks and techniques and different things like that. Like we do, sometimes we did some edge pattern stitches and some things like that. I like to include a lot of that stuff in there too. And so what I'm saying to you is if there's a simple thing you want to try or an edge stitch or you have a question, feel free to message me on Facebook on the Posh Pooch Designs page, or you can go to the webpage www.poshpoochdesigns.com and hit that contact button and you can ask me a question that way as well. I do try to include those questions as I'm planning through the year because what I do is I try to plan 3 to 6 months in advance. And I know that's crazy, but I try to do that so I'm prepared and can answer your questions and help us learn some techniques together. All right. I really feel like our time together on Tuesdays, it may only be a little over 30 minutes, but I feel like that's our time to come together as a crochet community, forget the world and what's going on in our families for a while, and just come together and have some crochet with friend time. All right. Now, the other thing that we're going to continue to do in 2021 is our monthly giveaway. And I always get really excited about the January giveaway because you'll find out next week exactly what it's going to look like. But the January giveaway is what I call a big box of yarn. And what I do is I hit some of the clearance sales around town and I put together a great big box, not a great big box, but a box that fits in the large USPS box. And I try to spend about $75 on it. And sometimes there'll be yarn things in it as well as like hooks and different things that I like to include in there. And I like to keep it a mystery also. And that's why it's really important for when you win our monthly giveaway to email me back or message me back and let me know you received the box. This Christmas was crazy when it came to shipping. Things were getting there 2 and 3 weeks late, and I don't understand, other than the fact that a lot of people were shipping a lot more because we weren't able to go and visit our families. I shipped out that box, I told you, like 2 weeks ago to my grandkids and my daughter and son-in-law in Oklahoma. Well, I sent it out early. I paid extra for it to get there early, and it didn't get there until Christmas Eve. But that's okay. They got it on Christmas Eve, and we got to FaceTime and see them open their fun gifts. So that worked out okay. All right, now the other thing that we're going to continue to do, of course, is tutorials because that's what I love to do. I love to be able to show you how to crochet something and make something and just I don't know, share my creativity, maybe that's what we'll call it. I just really enjoy it. And I like doing them. I enjoy the filming of them. I enjoy the taking the pictures and editing the pictures. I enjoy editing the video. I enjoy adding all the extra fun stuff in the videos. Yes, it's time consuming. It takes a lot of time to write out a pattern, design a pattern, have it tested, making sure all the punctuation's correct, and all of that stuff along with the video. And it takes a lot of time, several days just to get one 15-minute video. It takes a lot of time, but I really love it and it's a lot of fun. And I really love when I see you making the things that I do in my videos and on my patterns. And one of the things I really try to do is with, excuse me, with every video, I try to do a photo tutorial with a written pattern because everyone is different. Some people really love a video. Some people really love a written pattern, and some people love that written pattern, but they also love pictures. And so I try to get it all in there. That way, if you're reading along in the pattern, even though you're looking at the pictures and you're like, I don't quite get that, you can, pop over to the video, fast forward to the section you want to see, and you can watch me do it. And so it's good for everybody, I think. I try really hard to make it, photo tutorial, written out pattern, and a video. Now, sometimes mistakes happen. We had an issue with my table runner that we just put out last week. For some silly reason, I kept saying 10.5 millimeter instead of 6.5 millimeter for the crochet hook. In the American terms, the K hook is a 10.5, but it is a 6.5 millimeter. American hooks, for some reason, have a letter and a number. That number, I don't even know what it's for. It's just a number. The main thing you need to know when doing crochet is the letter and the millimeters. All right. And I knew it was a 6.5 millimeter, but for some reason my brain said 10.5 millimeter, but it was a 10.5 crochet hook. So, things happen sometimes. And so what you need to do if you're looking at that on a video, underneath that video, it'll say see more, or depending on what device you're on, because they're all different, it might have a little black arrow, or it might have a little red arrow. And then there's those 3 dots you can click as well. Underneath that video, I'll always have a link that will lead you to the written pattern. But also, if there's an update, I always put it in that little box. I always also, if there's an update, try to pin it to the top comment of the video. For instance, with that one, I put that in there. Sorry for the confusion. It's a 6.5 millimeter hook. And so be sure and do that as well. And sometimes when we're making updates on the blog, and you look at it and you're like, go ahead and refresh that screen, because I had some issues in the last couple of weeks where me or one of my testers went in and updated the blog. And for some reason, when we hit update, it didn't. And then like 20 minutes later, it did. So I don't know what that was about. So, don't freak out. Don't worry if, there's an issue or something like that. I always tell people, do what I do. If I'm holding an H hook and I say it's a W, I am holding an H hook, because, sometimes those things just happen. And I just want to say this. I do the very best that we can. We get it all together, try the very best that we can. But sometimes things do happen, and don't feel bad about messaging me or sending me an email for clarification. Okay. Don't feel bad about it. And the thing is, sometimes the way that I write something may not be the way that you comprehend it, because we're all different, and so don't feel bad about that. All right. Just go ahead and let me know, because I want to know. All right. So we talked about peace. We talked about what's happening this year at Posh Pooch Designs on the YouTube channel and in patterns. And I'm so excited about it. I want you to feel excited about 2021 when it comes to crochet and yarn and fun time together. All right. I know it's been a struggling year, but we're gonna get through this. All right. Now let's talk about what happened this last week at Posh Pooch Designs. So you see that there's that banner behind me. That is the same graph that I used to make our mug cozy. The only difference is I did this one in single crochets, and the one behind me I did a C2C block stitch. And it's really a simple graph. Let me show you the graph. It's just a simple graph. And the thing is, with a graph like this, you can go to my page and get the graph. It's super easy. And you can do lots of different ways. You could do a straight up and down block stitch. You could use any stitch, single crochet, half double, or double. You're just going to have taller blocks. Okay? You can do the C2C like I did back there. You can even do bobble stitches where you do all of it in the single and do the numbers in a bobble stitch. And so it's a really fun pattern to do. Now on the video, what I did is I walked you through every row of the graph. So it's a little longer video than I normally do, but it's super fun, and I want you to see how it turns out. 2021. Here I did one with a sparkly yarn that is in cranberry and cream. And then this one I did in the white with blue. This one I did for the video is my favorite because that's upside down. Is my favorite because it's still upside down. Okay. I can't believe I keep holding it upside down. Anyway, it is my favorite because I like the way that the white pops out of the blue. I guess we could do it upside down if we wanted, right? Anyway, it was a lot of fun and it's super easy pattern. Okay? So if you want to watch the video, I walk you through every row. But you can take this graph, like I said, and do just about anything you want with it. You could add this to a hat, to a scarf, a bag, a book bag. I mean, anything you wanted to do with it, you can do with it. Just go to the blog that's listed underneath the video, and you can get the graph. It's a free pattern. And so that's what we did yesterday. Now, the table runner I was talking about is this one. And this is made from that yarn that is by Lion Brand, Cotton Blend. And it's got a cream and a green together and a cream and a red. And this yarn comes in lots of different colors. It comes in like black and white. It comes in brown and white, blue and white, yellow and white, all different shades. I think there's 2 shades of green, like a deeper green, I think. But it's really a fun yarn to work with. And I was kind of cracking up because when I was growing up, my grandmother called these tassels. And so that's just what I always call them. And I got this message. She said, I can't stand the fact that you're calling them tassels. I'm like, but that's what they are. Well, I guess to a lot of people, they call them tassels. And the story is this. When I was growing up, we lived with my grandma for a little bit, and she had these pillows that had a tassel on each corner. And I got in trouble because I was messing with her tassels. And she took it away from me. I think I was like 4. My grandmother was a very proper lady, and she called them tassels. Whether you call them tassels or tassels, they're super fun. And they make our runner look super fun. And this is super easy. It's just a V-stitch runner. Changing colors if you want to. And this yarn is a chunky 5. And the thing about this yarn is it has thin parts and thick parts. Let me grab one over here that I have left over. It has thick parts. It's going to roll right off the table there. And thin parts. And it's the way that it's twisted is super cool. And where it is thin, to me it's more of a 3. But where it is thick, it is a 5. And so they labeled it as a 5. When you stitch it up, it really works about like a 4. So have fun. And I said all that just to say this. If you work this table runner pattern, my box of buttons just fell over and I have buttons all over the floor. Oh well, if you work this pattern, you can use any medium weight number 4 yarn and it will work just about the same size. And I show you on the video because I do the demonstration with a medium weight number 4 cotton yarn. And I show you in the demonstration, when I measured it out, it measures exactly the same as this yarn. So that's another yarn that you can use. And you know I love to give you different yarns that you can use for substitution. I keep looking at those buttons. They're all over the floor. Anyway, I love to give you substitutions and yarns that you can use. I love for you to be able to get in your yarn stash and use up what you've got. You don't always have to go out and buy brand new yarn. I do like to show you new yarns that I find in case you want to, because the yarn companies are constantly making new yarns and new styles. Okay? And so that's why I like you to do that. I am not affiliated with any yarn company anymore. I used to do a lot of stuff with Red Heart and Lion Brand and some of the other companies, Hobium yarns and stuff. But I really have gotten away from that. And not because I don't like their yarns. I love them. I love all yarns. But it's just that I really just kind of wanted to kind of do this on my own and build up a community of yarn friends on my own. Because I don't, sometimes they'll show my stuff because I've used their yarn or things like that. But I really, really, really love doing this on my own, showing that I can build a community of wonderful friends and just have fun. And I do get yarn occasionally sent to me from different companies that they want me to like make a video of or a picture or something, or not a picture, a pattern. But they're not paying me anything. It's just they send it to me to test it out, and and what I get from it is just, you know. All right, where do you find the crochet alongs? You'll find the crochet alongs on YouTube as well as on the Posh Pooch Design page if you go to the photos. Each album will have all the patterns that we did for each of those crochet alongs. The photos here on Posh Pooch Designs. You can also find them on Ravelry as well as on the blog. So the best way to find all of those places is www.poshpoochdesigns.com, and there are links to all those places. The other place you can find all of those things is go to YouTube and click under any of the videos. In that box, we'll have all the links to all the places where I'm at. I always do now all of my crochet alongs on YouTube. And we always do a video or a pattern and pictures, just like I mentioned earlier. And something else that someone told me that they do is they just go to YouTube and go to my playlist. And that's a great place to go because I always make a new playlist for each crochet along. Especially when we do a year-long crochet along. You can go to the playlist on YouTube and look through my playlist, and you'll see spring crochet along, winter crochet along, 2019 crochet along, 2018 crochet along, 2020, and then once we do our first video, there'll be a 2021 crochet along. And so there's lots of different places that you can find them. But like I said, the best place to go is to my either my webpage or underneath any of my videos on YouTube. All right, now, the last thing I wanted to mention, let me see. The last thing I wanted to mention is although we finished our 2020 crochet along and we've done our 12 washcloths, I have a bonus pattern for you. Tomorrow, I'm going to release our 13th washcloth for our 2021 crochet along. Just call it a baker's dozen. Isn't a baker's dozen 13? All right, so be looking for that. And I try to when I do my videos, I try to release them afternoon, like 1-ish. And the reason is, in the past when I've tried to release them in the morning, it takes forever. And I think a lot of people are releasing things on YouTube in the morning, and it just takes a really long time to load. I mean, like hours to load, hour and a half. And then you have to go in and, of course, add all your links and things. And so usually when I release a pattern, it's afternoon, after 12 o'clock, 1-ish, 2-ish, okay? So, all right, so tomorrow be looking for our 13th washcloth of the month for 2020. And it's going to be our last crochet video tutorial for 2020. But we've got lots of fun stuff planned for 2021. So I'm going to let you go, and I want to wish you a very merry, blessed, happy, and peaceful New Year.